Shalom. Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kradash. Shalom and salutations and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, where I continue to learn this 100% truth from. Shalom to the elder bishops, the elders, the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, and teachers also of Great Millstone, who I continue to learn this 100% truth from. Shalom to the speckled bird, confused face, the Akim and Aqua, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. And just reporting what I'm seeing, what I heard. I didn't really get a chance to get on the internet like that all day today. And once I got a chance, my wife had told me about the tsunami situation that was taking place. And then I was able to get on TikTok and check it out. So I'm going to play these two videos and just get a couple of scriptures and, hope Harakazah, you be edified with it. Let's get the first one.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. A massive 8.7 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Russia has now issued tsunami advisories and watches, including Japan, Hawaii, the entire west coast of the U.S. This could be one of the top 10 earthquakes ever recorded. Joining us now from Fox Weather is Steve Bender is with us. Steve, 8.7, that puts it in the top 10. That means these tsunami warnings and advisories are very real.
Sean, this is massive. And you had just mentioned Japan's impacted by this. The U.S. Embassy in Tokyo has already been told evacuate and get to higher ground. And this was just off the coast of Russia, as you had mentioned, only 8 miles from the coast of Kamchatka, Russia. And so we've already seen on social media the waves that are pushing in towards Russia. For Japan, they're expecting 9-foot waves to impact the islands. As we look at the Aleutian Islands there, south of Alaska and the peninsula, tsunami warnings for the western edge of that because of the proximity to the earthquake. We get down into Hawaii, they are also in a tsunami warning. This has been a confirmed wave that is moving in, likely to make impact just after 7:15 local time. The Oahu Emergency Management said, this is what you got to do. You got to get to at least a 10-story building and get to 4 floors or above that. So people are seeking higher ground right now. You look at the west coast of the lower 48, everyone is under a tsunami watch right now for the Pacific Northwest. Washington and Oregon, arrival time 11:40 p.m. local time for that initial wave, down towards Northern California, San Francisco, and those areas around the Bay. About 12:30, midnight, that's when you're looking at that potential wave, and then Southern California right after 1 a.m. So when we're looking at this, it is expecting flooding along those coastal areas. You got to gain elevation for spots like California. It is a steep slope, but other areas are vulnerable. Also, I do want to mention, Sean, we have Guam, of course, a massive military base. They are also in this as well with a warning. So major concern, aftershocks just coming in at 6.8 and 6.3. So the magnitudes, even on the aftershocks, are massive. As you had said right off the top, this could be a top 10 strength ever. This is preliminary right now at 8.7, but either way, if you're under an advisory, a watch, or a warning, it is important that you are getting to higher ground because you're not going to see it. This is coming in overnight, and that wave energy is going to slam the coast. So right now, Sean, we're efforting to get some guests. I talked with the state seismologist out of Alaska just earlier this month when they had large earthquakes. He said this is the most active region in the entire world, and now we're seeing this major earthquake unfold. 2 a.m. local time off the coast of Russia, and the ripple effects continue on in the hours ahead.
All right, Steve, let me be very clear. If you're watching the show tonight and you're in Alaska, if you're in California, if you're in Guam, maybe you're watching from Japan, I would tell everybody they better be listening and they better be paying attention. You have mere hours to get to significantly higher ground. Fair statement?
Fair statement, especially when you're mentioning Japan. I mean, when we talk about the strength of this one, the last time we had seen anything at an 8.7 or greater was back in Japan in 2011. So we haven't seen anything like this in over a decade. And as you had mentioned, this is coming in overnight. You're not going to see that wave energy, that water coming in, get to higher ground and lead to the warnings. Listen to them and start moving now.
And people, if you're in areas where you might be impacted by this, call your friends, call your relatives, or if you have relatives in these areas, call them now, make them aware of what the threat is. If they
8.8. This is hasn't happened since 2011, and this is supposed to come off of the east coast of or come from the east of from Japan, and I believe starting from Russia through Japan, and then headed towards Babylon on the west coast, like California, Oregon, places like that, maybe Utah. But this is Isaiah 29:6, and it reads, "Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire." So who's doing this? Why is this happening? Because this is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is his plan. This is what he wants to happen. And it is going to happen. It is happening. This is Matthew 24:7. "For nation shall rise against nation," Yahweh Shai speaking. "For nation prophesying. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." Let's look up the word diverse real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Bear with me 1 second. Diverse. Showing a great deal of variety, very different, including or involving people from a range or different social and ethnic backgrounds, and of other different genders, sexual orientations, etc. So these places in these diverse places, it's places like Russia, Japan, Babylon. You know what I mean? These are places that are diverse places. Luke 21:1. So like 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be from the heaven. And this is what's going on. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is showing us that these prophecies are coming to pass. He's moving. And for those that are not studying and don't understand or don't know, they don't realize what's happening, that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is controlling and doing these things. Let's get the next video.
happen to be in these coastal areas.
Good evening. This is NBC Bay Area News Tonight. I'm Raj Mathai. We are following some breaking news now. An earthquake, the biggest earthquake in the world since 2011. We are now dealing with an 8.8 earthquake in Russia, and that's triggered a tsunami advisory for all of California. Here's what we know. The 8.8 quake struck just after 4:30 our time. It was just upgraded, actually, in the last couple of minutes from an 8.7 earthquake to an 8.8 earthquake.
earthquake. Now, the California coast, look at this map here, so the Ring of Fire, the California coast, the entire coast is under a tsunami advisory. The bigger threat right now is what's going to happen in Hawaii, which is now under a tsunami warning, which means experts believe that a tsunami is imminent. Evacuations are already underway in low-lying areas of Oahu.
If you haven't done so already, now is the time to head up Mauka, head for cover as Hawaii responds to this tsunami warning. The warning came down on air. You can hear it in our newsroom.
Yeah, pretty alarming there. This is a clip from one of our sister stations, NBC stations in Hawaii. This was about 45 minutes ago. The mayor of Honolulu addressing the danger as well. They're anticipating any impacts to reach Hawaii there by around 7:15. So about 15 minutes, about 7:15 their time.
Salakia, let's look up the word tsunami. A tsunami is a series of powerful ocean waves typically caused by large-scale disturbances like underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and landslides. So just wanted to give you the understanding of tsunami. This is Second Esdras 3:19. And thy glory went through four gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold, that thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and the diligence unto the generation of Israel.
Time, which is about 10:15 our time.
Anybody who's in a flood inundation zone, they were asking people to evacuate their properties to get to higher ground as much as possible, and that pretty much goes for anywhere. If you're already on higher ground, then you stay there. But, it's always a rush for the hills, and we'll see. Don't want to sound panicked, but this is happening very fast.
Yeah, again, this is all unfolding in real time, so we are just following as responsibly as we can with what's happening. Don't know quite the magnitude, but nonetheless, it's a concern. This is a live look now at Waikiki Beach. Looks beautiful there in Honolulu. It's about 4 p.m. Hawaii time. They're expected to start sounding some sort of warning sirens there to clear the water. That looks like people are off the beach. They want to clear the water, clear the beaches in the next few hours. But for right now, things look calm. Let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Jeff Veneri, who's been tracking all this for the past couple hours now. A couple of things, Jeff, that I just want to address with you. This all started as the biggest quake since 2011, this 8.8 in Russia. What's the timeline now for us to see any type of big waves here in the Bay Area?
Oh, well, we're thinking, answering that immediately here, maybe around midnight, possibly a little bit after. We do have timetables on that. We're just getting some new information in over the past half hour on potential wave heights and also arrival times. Now, that quake, again, 8.8 happening there in Russia, setting off just a cascade here of watches, warnings, and advisories from these deep ocean buoys that are reading these wave heights in real time. Down here in Hawaii, we still are, as we heard there as well, under tsunami warnings. Wave heights could be 3+ feet there. Also up into portions of Alaska, 3+ feet high. Some may be reaching up to about 9 feet on some of the larger estimates. We'll have to see on that. But again, that is kind of the threshold there. We've also been now upgraded to a tsunami advisory. So that does kind of up things a little bit for us. We're not expecting the kind of waves that they are here in Alaska and Hawaii, but certainly those wave heights would be higher. So as you get those advisory alerts on your phone, what we want you to see here is it does include all of the bay, also the coastal areas, some parts of the North Bay here, as some of that water kind of flows into portions of the North Bay. But you'll see here arrival times around the San Francisco area around 12:40, so just after midnight. Anything here for the greater Bay Area, the way that the early estimates are coming in, would be a foot and or less. Now, that still means if you're in a harbor, any kind of marina, you still have to be on high alert. It can kind of slosh around the water, maybe even do some minor boat damage. But again, the greater Bay Area here, less than a foot. But this is the one we're pinpointing here, Crescent City, right around midnight, maybe 3 to 5.7 foot tide levels above normal. Crescent City, Santa Cruz Harbor may also have some heights above 1 foot, but Crescent City, the way that is shaped, it's kind of like a bowl. The water comes in, and then that water might be able to rise a little bit higher here, so they could have wave heights maybe up around 5 feet, right around midnight. But Greater Bay Area would be less than a foot the way that we see it now. So yes, we are under this heightened alert, but we're not expecting the largest by any means of the activity, which is going towards Alaska, maybe parts of Japan, and also Hawaii.
It's just concerning to hear all of this we're talking about. We hear these different types of warnings here, Jeff. We started out a couple hours ago. It was a tsunami advisory, then it's a tsunami alert. Now it's a concern. Can you kind of go through some of the variations here?
It does. It gets so confusing on this because the parameters are different than some of our normal weather watches. So for us, we're under tsunami advisory. You can see the table here. You've got warning. That's the most powerful, where inundation of water, strong currents, strong waves, 3+ feet high. That's tsunami warning. We're right now under an advisory. So again, it has been upgraded. For us, it's going to mean some stronger currents and what we call wave action. It's not just one wave. It's going to be a succession of these smaller waves as the water is just kind of moving around. That would be less than a foot above normal tide level. Again, for us, we're in this advisory category. We were in a watch earlier, which is some very minor wave action, but now again, it looks like it could be a foot or less. It doesn't sound.
This is 2nd Esdras 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Salakia, bear me 1 second.
Like a lot, but when you put it above normal.
Salakia, I'm sorry. This is 2nd Esdras 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So you have to understand that all of these things that's happening is because Yahweh and Yahweh Shah set it to be like that.
Tide level. It certainly is something we want to pay attention to, and no doubt up towards Crescent City, this is where that water might be in the 3 to 5 foot range above normal tide level. So I'm sure people up towards Crescent City are heading to higher ground. For us, we're going to see the water rise. On best estimate right now, it's less than a foot on those brand new data points we got in from the Tsunami Warning Center.
Okay, that's encouraging to hear that, relatively speaking here. And just to clarify about the timeline, we're thinking Hawaii, which is about 10 p.m. our time, and then to the Bay Area in California. Can you review that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to rewind our maps here. And what you're going to see as we get back to this, arrival times here, Crescent City, right around midnight, 3 to 5 feet. Sanford.
This is Esther, the Greek, 2 and 5. Behold, a noise of a tumult with thunder and earthquakes and uproar in the land. These things are here and these things are happening. And this is all Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. I got one more scripture. Salakia, this is Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh have not done it? Be afraid or run together, Yahweh, or shall not Yahweh do somewhat? This is all Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai who's doing this. I'm going to let this finish playing.
Francisco Bay Area, less than a foot, happening about 12:40 after midnight. So again, we've got some small wave action coming our way, maybe a little bit larger up towards Crescent City. I think I've got one more graphic after this. Here we go, with more arrival times here for California. And you'll see everyone here, not only the Bay Area, but also including Monterey, Los Angeles, Oceanside, all a foot or below based on those new estimates, with Crescent City being kind of in that more moderate to high range, where they certainly are a lot more concerned up towards Crescent City right now, getting that new data, getting those numbers in. That's certainly, putting everybody on a different alert level than we are right now. I mean, we've got to pay attention to this. We could see the numbers change, but right now we're a foot and less above normal tide level. Santa Cruz Harbor is also kind of an interesting spot, the way that is shaped. So they may be a little bit above a foot. We're not seeing any specific data for Santa Cruz Harbor just yet, but that's another location. Crescent City, Santa Cruz Harbor, those are the two locations that we're kind of keying in on for that water to be rising potentially above 1 foot.
This is really good information. Thank you, Jeff. So really, basically around here, at least after midnight, and right now, relatively small changes in terms.
Praying for those brothers on the West Coast. Praying for the brothers and other diverse places where this tsunami is supposed to hit. And with that, I'm going to say, Call Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Shalom and salutations again, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, where I continue to learn this 100% truth. And Shalom to the elect. And repent. This time is getting short and shorter, and this grace period is about to be over real soon. Do the best that you can, not just talking to you, but talking to myself as well, to come back to these little statutes and commandments and try to get right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Get your house in order. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.